Hey everybody, it's Allie Palmgren. I am the Assistant Director of the Weston Public Library, and the Weston AIC is the Makerspace branch of the Weston Public Library. So I am here today to chat with you a little bit about some of the tools that we use to interact with our Cricut Maker, which we have two of. They are vinyl cutters, but they cut so much more. They cut paper and cardstock and vinyl and fabric and thin cork and foil and all sorts of awesome things. But to be able to do that, you need to use a piece of software called Cricut Design Space. And it is free and available online, so you can work from home and create designs and then come in and use our vinyl cutter. And the way that you can do that is to get certified to use our vinyl cutter during open studio time. We have classes and certifications for that. Just check our website for more information there. And then once you're certified, you can come in during our open studio time, pay $5 to use the space, and you can bring your own vinyl or your own paper, whatever you are looking to cut. And then you can create all sorts of wonderful things. But if you want to design from home, you can. You can also design using our laptops at the AIC. They have Cricut Design Space on them, and we have a premium Cricut membership, so you have access to some additional graphics that you can use. But if you want to design from home, here's how, and it's pretty easy. So the first thing that you'll need to do is to go to design.cricut.com. It's C-R-I-C-U-T, sorry, Cricut, and download the software. Now you can use the web version. They have right here, it says take me to the old Design Space for web. I'll upgrade later. It's not super, it's fine, it's fine, but the downloadable version is so much better. It's so much more reliable. I've already downloaded it. If you hadn't, you would click download, and then you could create an account to sign in so your projects are saved. And you can always sign in if you'd like from our computers, or you can bring your laptop with you to the AIC. There is also an app for tablets and for smartphones. It's a little bit small on the smartphone, but on the tablet it works well. But we're just going to open up this one. And it's asking me if I want to open Design Space. All right, once Design Space opens, it'll either prompt you to go through machine setup or to sign in. If you have never created an account, when you hit sign in, it'll give you the option to, if you like. I'm going to hit machine setup. The one that we have at the AIC, we do have the Easy Press as well for doing heat transfer vinyls, but really what we're looking for here is the Cricut Maker. And so you can do that. So you can create your Cricut ID if you don't have one. We do have one in general for the AIC on our computers. So I'm going to use that to sign in. All right, now that I'm signed in, it asks me to get connected, but you can still design without connecting to the machine. So to do that, I'm just going to click this little X right up here, and we're going to exit the machine setup. And we'll click OK. All right, so from here, we've got your main dashboard area. And I've got a few projects that I've already printed out. So I did these multi-layered cards, which were really cool. I had some Valentines, and this was all on cardstock. So you can do a whole bunch of things. Because I have the premium, that gives me access to their all access designs. So anything that they have on here, for example, are some things that are included, anything with the A. So if you want to use our access, you can certainly come to the AIC at our open studio time or during a class to use our laptops for this fun stuff. But I'm going to do something a little bit different. So let me show you around a little bit. I'm going to hit New Project, and this is where you can get started. If you wanted to see something that was previously done by somebody else and you just wanted to adapt it for your own, you could hit Projects. And that will help you search through things that are already kind of put together for other folks. Also, you can use images. They have a huge collection of images that are available for you to use. But what I want to show you today is kind of getting started using your own images or something that you find anywhere else that you would like to upload and then use specifically. So to do that, if I hit upload, and this is kind of convenient, let's say if folks wanted to like use their own company's business logo and make that into stickers or to press that onto t-shirts, that's where it would be useful. These are some of the things that some other folks have done for their own different purposes. So the way to get started is to just upload an image. So you'll have to have found that or have that available on your computer. Obviously, complicated images are a little harder. So having something with very clean lines, even if it is a picture, is a great way to start. So I'm going to take one here. Let's go upload image. And I'm going to do a picture of my bike because I think that's kind of fun. So I'm just browsing to find an image that I was looking for. So here's a picture of my bike. Cool, there's one. All right, so you want something that really has a lot of contrast between the background and the actual picture itself, which is what I have here. And then you can kind of choose based on what it is. If it was just a simple black outline logo, I would choose simple, or if it had just wording. Moderately complex has some more designs in it, has a little bit more detail, and complex has kind of blended colors and fine designs. I'm going to use complex just because this has a lot of spokes on my bike here. So I'm hitting complex. Awesome. So now this takes us into where we want to erase stuff that we don't want included, because just remember, this is going to cut an outline. So if you don't want something in the outline, you want it to become transparent. So if you see the white area behind the saddle and behind the frame of the bike here, we want to get rid of that. So there's a magic erase tool, and it's right here. It's called Select and Erase. And if you click, it'll take it and it will make the background transparent. And anything that's transparent are things it's going to cut around. So it's going to cut around this saddle here. So you can see this checkerboard. Now, this area in between the rails that you see there is still white, so it wouldn't cut around that. I want it to cut around that. So I'm going to click there, and look, it magically does that. So you can zoom in and out in the upper right-hand corner. If you want to zoom out a little bit, get some larger areas to get rid of some of the texture there. There we go. So I'm clicking between every single spoke. So it's not going to pick up all of the texture of, let's say the cassette or the little texture of the chain unless I really zoom in. But here I'm just getting rid of the areas that I want it to cut around. And it's pretty simple. If you do want some finer detail, so you want to make sure you get around like the teeth of the chain ring here, I recommend zooming in, and we'll move down a little bit, and we'll zoom in again and move down a little bit until we're zoomed in close to where we want to get rid of some of these things. So I want to get rid of the little areas in between the chain rings. So that allows me to zoom in and get in those tinier spots. And it will cut vinyl and various other materials with pretty good accuracy, even around some of these really intricate areas. So I'm going to finish this up, and then we will pick back up in a second. So I think we've gotten most of the areas. So one great way to check is to hit the preview button down here. So if it does preview, it'll show you where it's solid and where it's going to cut. So if you notice, I did the disc rotor up here, so the brake's up in the front, but I didn't do in the ones in the back. So now I'm going to go back in and I'm going to get some greater detail back here and maybe see if I can get a little bit of detail in here as well. So I've gone in and I've cleaned it up a little bit again. So let's hit preview one more time. Yeah, that's a little bit better. You got a little bit more definition down here, and it looks good to me. That looks exactly like what I want. So I'm going to hit hide preview and then hit continue. Okay, so what we want is to save as a cut image, and then that will make it so we can save it, so we can cut it out of vinyl if we wanted to make a sticker, or if we wanted to make a heat transfer vinyl that we would put on like a t-shirt or a tea towel or whatever you're looking for. But we want to save as a cut image for this purpose here. Okay, so you can name your image. I'll leave it that. That's the bike it is. And you can put a tag if you wanted to give it other identifying characteristics. I could put, let's say, bike, road bike. You just separate those with commas. Let's see, cycle maybe, bicycle. All right, that should do it. And we'll hit save. And what that will do is you'll see it's now gone into the recently uploaded images. So if I wanted to make something with that, we can go new, and this gives me a blank space to work with. And then if I go into upload, and I can click on this item here, this bike that I wanted, and then hit insert images, this will insert this into my project. There we go. So it gives me a default size based on the image size that I had before. This would be 13.244 inches by 7.773 inches. So if I was going to put this on a sheet, it would be quite large, probably a little bit too big for my purposes. But do remember that if you want to get a lot of detail in something, you can't do that on really, really tiny images. This would probably do okay if I shrink it down. So I'm just using the little arrows in the corner to resize this. I'm going to go 11 inches-ish. There we go, 11 inches by about 6.5. That's something that looks good to me. Now, if I wanted to put some text with this or some other stuff, so let's say I wanted to stylize this and put some, let's put some stars with it. That'd be pretty cool. They do have simple shapes. I find it's a really limited number if I click on shapes here. They have some stars. I think I want something that looks cooler than that though. So I'm going to click on images up here, and I'm going to browse some images. Let's go stars. Okay, look at that. So you'll see there are options for free and then subscribed. So free is stuff that you would get even if you did not have a membership. Subscribed are for folks that have one of the premium memberships, and the AIC is one of them. You can use that on our computers. But if you're doing that home, free is fine. I'm going to click on these. I think these are pretty cool. So I'm going to do insert images. All right, awesome. So I'm going to make this the same color because I'm just going to use one sheet of vinyl when I actually can get into the AIC and do this. So I'm just going to make it the same color right there. And you can spin it and twist it and resize. So maybe I'll make that a little bit smaller. And I'm going to twist this around. Pretty cool. Okay. Now, let's say I want another one to put around near the front wheel. So I'm going to duplicate this, which, you know, is pretty great. So you can use your keyboard shortcuts for that, or you can right click on the image and you can use duplicate, and it made another one. We'll put it over here. It's not going the direction I want, so I'm going to twist it around and we'll put that right there. And if I'm interested in saving this for later so I can go to the AIC and get this cut out on one of the Cricut makers, this is where I would hit save. So, and I'm just going to say Allie's bike. And I'll save that project and I'm all set. I can go back to this at another time, or I can go and pop over to the AIC when it's open during open studio time, and I can print this out. Now, again, if you are interested in being certified on our equipment, do check our website, westonaic.org. All right, so that's pretty much it. when you come over to the AIC, you would open this up and click Make It, and then attach to our equipment and get it going. We can show you how to do that. So get started at home, start creating, start having a great time, and we would be happy to see you when we're open and get things created for you. Thank you.